Before sunrise on a cold morning in May 1940, German tanks slide quietly into the Ardennes. They move with a strange, relentless rhythm, not after one day, not after two, not even after more than 70 hours of non-stop advance. For the Allied soldiers watching from a distance, it feels unreal, as if the German troops have stepped outside the normal laws of the human body. But the truth is far more disturbing. Inside those tanks, tucked into the inner pockets of their uniforms, each man carries the same thing, a tiny white pill, Pervitin, a form of methamphetamine, a drug that wipes away exhaustion, a drug that erases fear, a drug that turns ordinary men into something that looks unstoppable. And this moment marks the beginning of one of the darkest chemical experiments in modern history. The German High Command demands the impossible: 40 hours awake, 50 hours awake, 60 hours awake, movements that must stay sharp, precise, lightning fast. They want soldiers who do not slow down, soldiers who do not question, soldiers who do not collapse. Nature resists this, but chemistry offers another path. Pervitin becomes the secret fuel behind the blitzkrieg, a pill that sharpens concentration until it feels almost unnatural, a pill that softens the hunger pangs in the gut, a pill that turns fear into something faint and distant. Tank crews push through nights so dark that the forest seems to blend into the road, yet their eyes stay wide and focused, refusing to blink. Artillery crews perform complex calculations after more than 2 full days without sleep. Infantry march mile after mile with aching feet, but somehow find the strength to charge forward again and again. A stunned French officer would later say, "It was as if they no longer recognized fatigue, as if they were no longer fighting in human bodies." But behind the appearance of superhuman endurance, something else begins to grow. Loss of judgment, tremors in the hands, hallucinations, and a deepening dependence on the pills. One tank driver, after more than 50 hours awake, begins to see silhouettes on the road that do not exist. In his confusion, he slams his vehicle into his own infantry column. The cost of the pill becomes visible, even as commanders continue to demand its use. Yet the battlefield is not the darkest place Pervitin appears. Far away from the front lines inside the concentration camps, the drug takes on a new horrifying purpose, not to increase speed, not to strengthen endurance, but to destroy empathy. The camps are built on constant trauma, starvation, violence, death surrounding the guards every single day. Even indoctrinated SS officers struggle to function inside this environment. Their minds fight back, their emotions resist, their humanity begins to push through. The regime cannot allow that, so they turn to chemicals. Pervitin keeps the guards awake and focused. Morphine cools their emotions until they feel nothing at all. Alcohol numbs whatever fragments of conscience remain. Together, these substances create guards who are alert, obedient, and emotionally hollow. Men who can witness horrors and continue to work as if nothing is happening. Witnesses recall one guard who stood during a prisoner selection for 14 uninterrupted hours. His hand slowly lifted left or right. Work camp or gas chamber, life or death. His face remained blank, his movements smooth, almost bored. He did not waver, he did not pause. He had chemically disconnected from the humanity of the moment. In hidden barracks, prisoners are forced into even darker experiments. They are given stimulants and ordered to march until their legs buckle, injected with methamphetamine and plunged into freezing tanks of water, their bodies pushed to the breaking point so scientists can measure precisely how long a human can survive under extreme stress. Each gasp of breath is recorded, each heartbeat counted, each death reduced to a line in a report. Reports later used to improve the pill regimens of German soldiers. Cruelty becomes data, data becomes military science, and while these experiments unfold, another man is quietly falling under the same chemical spell. Not a soldier, not a guard, but Adolf Hitler himself. Hitler suffers from chronic stomach pain, insomnia, shaking nerves, and overwhelming anxiety. And Dr. Theodor Morell, his personal physician, becomes the architect of his daily survival. Morell injects him constantly vitamins, opioids, sedatives, testosterone, and yes, methamphetamine. At first, Hitler feels stronger, more confident, more awake. He believes these injections are unlocking some hidden energy inside him. But slowly, almost invisibly, the drugs begin to consume him. His hands tremble. His complexion turns a sickly grey. His moods flip without warning. Rage one moment, crushing despair the next. When his generals attempt to brief him, he loses focus. He interrupts constantly. He leaps from one idea to another without logic. He ignores every warning he does not want to hear. And in this chemically distorted state, he makes decisions that shatter the German war effort. He orders the 6th Army to remain in Stalingrad until it is destroyed. He launches the offensive at Kursk despite overwhelming evidence it will fail. He commands teenage boys and elderly men to defend Berlin in a hopeless final stand. By 1945, Hitler is no longer leading the Third Reich. The drugs inside him are. When he eventually fires Dr. Morell, his body spirals into withdrawal. His voice weakens to a faint rasp. His steps become slow and unsteady. Witnesses say he looks 20 years older than his actual 56 years. And just as Hitler collapses, the German army collapses with him. Because thousands of soldiers, now deeply dependent on Pervitin, are suddenly cut off. Supply lines are broken, factories destroyed, there is no more miracle pill to keep them functioning. Entire companies fall apart. Men experience panic attacks so severe they cannot hold their rifles. Others hallucinate enemy soldiers hiding in empty tree lines. Some fall into silent, unmoving states. Others turn violent, attacking officers for access to the last remaining pills. Pilots crash aircraft because their bodies cannot operate without stimulants. Young soldiers, some barely in their 20s, die from sudden heart failure. The army that once seemed unstoppable is now collapsing from within. But the most disturbing part of all is that Pervitin did not vanish with the fall of Nazi Germany. When Allied forces enter the country, they seize laboratories, research notes, and scientific teams. Not just rocket engineers, but pharmacologists. Their work is considered too valuable to destroy. And in the 1950s, a new stimulant appears in the United States. A blend of amphetamine salts sold to increase energy, suppress appetite, and improve focus. Millions take it. Over time, the formula changes. The branding changes, but today, one of its descendants is known by a name almost everyone recognizes: Adderall. Different purpose, different world, but the same dream behind it. A dream of chemically enhanced human performance. The Nazis pushed that dream into horror. They created sleepless soldiers, emotionless guards, a drug-dependent dictator. Their regime ended. But the belief that humans can be optimized, engineered, chemically reshaped, survived. And every time society demands more work, more speed, more productivity, and offers a pill instead of a pause, a shadow of this story returns. Not in the brutality, not in the ideology, but in the quiet, dangerous belief that humans are machines, and chemistry is the key to pushing them past their limits. This is the hidden, terrible legacy of Nazi meth. Not only what the drug did, but what it revealed about the power and the danger of trying to control human beings through chemistry.